Hey everyone, my name is Rygos Pop, and today I'm going to be showing you all my horror movies that I have in my collection. And yes, I'm also going to be counting some of the DVDs I have in this box. So yeah, let's begin with the cases first, and then I'll get right to it. So first up, case 1. Let's see if I have any horror movies in there. So yeah, heads up guys, some of these movies are non. Okay, first up I have the Alien vs. Predator duology. And yeah, I do have their cases. So yeah, there's Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem. And yeah, I do have the case. So yeah. Following that, I got the 2006 version of The Omen. So yeah. Heads up. And oh, I also have a Saw 4 right there. So that's case. So this is like, I don't know what to say. A bookcase 1, I think. Hang on. Come on. Get in there. Next up, the next case. Let's see what I can find. Yeah, I have a lot of non-horror movies in there. But that's a story for a different time, so please do not try and get that in your head. So please do not try and take that in. Okay, next up is Jurassic Park, one of my favorites. It's also another favorite. Man, I have a lot of non-horror movies in these cases. But do not try and get your high hopes up, because I might try and do that in a different time. So please do not try and assume that in the comments. Okay, let's see now. Horror movie. Oh, I have The Mummy Returns, or just simply Mummy Returns. So yeah, right there. So, yeah. Come on. Okay, next up. Okay, collection number 4. Okay, I have Signs by M. Night Shyamalan. You know, the guy behind the Israel trilogy, which consists of Unbreakable, Glass, and Split. Following that, I got Saw 3D right there. Following that, I got The Belko Experiment. And thus, that leads me to the last one. So yeah, let's go. I have King Kong from 2005. So yeah, I actually have the original King Kong from 2005. What else do I have? I have Freddy vs. Jason on Blu-ray. And the original Saw right there. So that wraps up these ones. Now we move on to the big cases. Okay, taking from the top row is Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Following that, I got Jeepers Creepers 1, 2. I might plan on getting the third film, but that's my least favorite, so yeah, unlucky me. Next up is my recent one, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Then I have Jurassic World. A Quiet Place Part 2. Shh. Don't make any loud noises. There'll be monsters. Next up is my personal favorite, The Cabin in the Woods. Next up, 28 Days Later. One of my first 2 international horror movies. Because this movie came out in the UK. Evenly filmed in it. So, good show for them. Next up is the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. In which you can tell it's the 40th anniversary. So, yeah, I'm not going to hate. Next up, I have the Conjuring universe. All 7 films. Then I have The Shining and Doctor Sleep duology. Miramax Classics, the Halloween collection, which consists of Halloween's 6, H2O, and Resurrection. Now I did have the producer's cut of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, but I lost it when I moved. So yeah. Next up, I have The Cursed. Sorry if the flashlight from my phone has a bee in there, so it's kind of hard to see in the dark. Next up, I have the Pet Sematary duology, which consists of the 1989 original and the 2019 remake. Next up, I have the Tremors 7 film collection. I mean, Tremors is a very good movie. So yeah, Evelyn Zorn covered on dead meat. Next up, the Candyman duology, which has the 1992 original and the 2021 film produced by Jordan Peele. Next up is Halloween 2018. Following that is Scream 1996. Following that is Jordan Peele's Nope. I don't have Get Out or Us yet, but I might plan on getting them soon in the future. Next up is Goatling, Son of Satan, or just Goatling. So this is another one of the many international horror films out there, and this one was actually filmed in Brazil, even released in there. Following that, I have the under Miramax classics, the Hellraiser collection, which consists of Hellraisers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Following that, I have Wes Craven's Dracula. Wes Craven's Dracula trilogy, which consists of Dracula 2000, Dracula 2 Ascension, and Dracula 3 Legacy. Following that, the Final Destination 5 film collection. Yeah, this site's kind of damaged, so I tend to not worry or care about it at all. I mean, hey, at least the movie still works. Next up is the Phantasm 5 film collection. But it's sad that there's no Phantasm 6 because sadly, the actor who played the tall man passed away in 2016. Rest in peace. Next up, I have Dead Silence. Next up, I have The Purge Election Year and The First Purge. Following that, I have The Critters Quadrilogy. I don't have Critters 5 yet, so yeah. Following that, I have The Conjuring Quadrilogy. Following that, I have the original Leprechaun Quadrilogy, which goes from Leprechauns 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, the Leprechaun enjoys his adventures in both Las Vegas and outer space. Next up is the original Quiet Place. Shh. Next up is Hide and Seek. Now, when I bought this at my local thrift store, the keep case is actually from an old Blockbuster. So yeah, I don't know how it got there, but I'm surprised I finally bought this film. So yeah. Next up is the 1975 cult classic, Jaws, and another one from 1975, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, a classic. Come on up to the lair. Next up is the Godzilla and King Kong trilogy, which consists of Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Kong, Skull Island. Following that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning, which is the prequel to the 2003 reboot. Following that, I have The Stranger's Duology. So yeah, just like with the case for Final Destination, this case is also damaged, so I tend to not care about the damages. At least the movies still work. Next up is the Universal Classic Monster Collection, which consists of Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, The Invisible Man, The Mummy, and The Bride of Frankenstein. Following that, I have the 7-film collection of Chucky, or Child's Play, depending on how you call it. Don't mess with a Chuck. Next up is the It Duology. We all float. Following that, I have Halloween 2 and 3. Then The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Then I have the Jaws 3 film collection, which is Jaws 2, 3, and The Revenge. Next up is Texas Chainsaw 3D, or just simply Texas Chainsaw because it's hard to watch in 3D anymore. Next up is Rob Zombie's Halloween, which is the director's cut. So yeah, director's cuts are very, very good to find. Next up is the Nightmare on Elm Street 8-film collection. And yeah, it also has Freddy vs. Jason. I already showed you that, but that's the Blu-ray version. And finally, Friday the 13th, the 8-movie collection, which has Friday the 13th 1 through 8. So yeah, it doesn't have Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, or Jason X, or the 2009 reboot. Next up is Spiral from the Book of Saw. Next up is the Last Summer trilogy, which consists of I Know What You Did Last Summer, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. AKA the film that made James A. Janisse of Dead Meat very unhappy, because that movie sucks. Next up is Halloween Kills. So yeah, I'm still waiting for Halloween Ends to come out on DVD or Blu-ray soon. Next up is Shudder, a film. I mean Slapface, a film from Shudder. So to those that do not know what Shudder is, it's a streaming service. I mean, you can kind of think of it like Netflix, but full of horror movies. So this is the first horror movie in the collection. Surprisingly enough, it came out on DVD. Next up is the Mimic trilogy, with the first film by none other than the legendary Guillermo del Toro, the man you know who helmed Pacific Rim and the first 2 Hellboy films. Following that, sorry, my Blu-rays are starting to slip. Next up is The Purge, Anarchy. And finally, let me go ahead and lay all my Blu-rays down a bit. As finally, Hellfest. Now we move on to my Blu-rays. Next up is the 2019 reboot of Hellboy. I know some of you are going to go into the comments and say, "Well, how is Hellboy even horror? It's not scary." Well, I'm going to stop you right there. It is horror because it has monsters and demons, so what do you expect? Next up is the Predator Quadrilogy, which consists of Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and The Predator. Coincidentally, The Predator was directed by Shane Black, who played Hawkins in the original film. Next up is the universally acclaimed film, The Black Phone. Next up is the Hostel duology by Eli Roth, which has Hostels 1 and 2. So yeah, I might get the third film to complete it. Next up is Jurassic World Dominion. Man, I have 4 films in the Jurassic Park franchise. Next up is Alien vs. Predator, but inside of it is Saw 2. So yeah, very crazy enough. Oh, sorry, some of the films are slipping. Next up is the Alien 6-film collection, which consists of Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant. Next up is the 1978 original Halloween. Following that is Scream 5, or Scream 2022, but I'm mostly going to call it Scream 5 to avoid confusion with the 1996 original. And finally, X by Ty West. So yeah, basically, that's it. That's all the horror movies I got within my collection. So if you want me to do a collection on the non-horror movies, like the anime movies, the adventure movies, let me know, okay? So basically, that's my entire collection of all the horror movies I own. So, do you have a favorite within the collection? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you all guys next time. Peace, everyone. Goodbye. And stay poppin'. So, peace, everyone. Bye-bye.